So good morning friends, just type in yes if you are able to hear me. So good morning friend. We'll wait for 5 minutes for the other people to join. Good afternoon. Yes. Yes, Prabhu. So what all things you want to learn today or discuss today? Probably we'll just take those pointers till the time other people join. You can just type in your things which you want to cover up today. We will definitely discuss about the different setups, different charts which I have been sharing, and so that you also understand what all things I'm trying to convey to you, and you have a better understanding on the charts, because that was the one requirement which everybody was asking. Yeah, sure. We will discuss this reversals part. So I'll just show you till the time other people are joining. We will just discuss about this Reliance thing. I think I had shared this chart earlier. Okay, how you take options based on the chart. Okay, sure. I'll cover up that as well. For the people who have joined now, you can type in your requirements, what we need to trade, and what we need to discuss today, and so that we will just have that points also covered. Okay, so look at this Reliance chart, guys, and I have been telling one particular thing which was I had shared, I guess, on one of the chart, which was talking about sell on rise. Okay, you can just check on the channel. I'm not actually getting that particular chart on this. The settings have gone on the trading view for some reason. Okay, but I'll just reshare that chart on the telegram group, if you can just check on that particular thing. Okay, uh, I'll also share this particular thing with you guys uh, on the YouTube. Let me try this particular thing. Okay, so there were certain setups which I had discussed on this particular Reliance. And if you would have seen one particular thing, so this one will also cover your how I'm reading the charts and what all things I'm doing. If you would have gone through your other videos which I had uploaded, which is talking about your reversal patterns and the price action, the volume, and other things, you would probably would have understood what I was trying to convey here. Okay, and the chart which I have just shared it on the channel, you would have that it mentions Reliance Daily View. Okay, and you just see here. Okay, this was a top. Okay, somewhere this is a daily chart, guys. So this was a top somewhere. Okay, from this particular point it has never tried to cross this. Okay, and the second thing which was happening was the top which is there, which is becoming lower and lower. Okay, now this is the third top. This was the second top. Okay, somewhere second, third or fourth top, then fifth top. Okay, every top which is there, which is not able to cross the another top. Okay, and then it is kind of falling. Okay, and what I was trying to do was basically uh, here. Okay, this one was a kind of a zone which was getting formed, which is either you can call it as a distribution zone or whatever it is. It is kind of not confirmed 100%, but yes, if you look at this zone which was getting formed, this is formed from almost like. Okay, so this is formed from July to August, October. Okay, so this is almost like 3-4 months zone which was formed. It has kind of initial zone was almost here. Okay, then it gives a breakout. Okay, but that breakout is not confirmed further. Okay, and then till the time this high was not broken, I wouldn't have taken any trade. Okay, and that is where I was waiting. Okay, this high to break. However, what has happened is it has not broken that high and it has become a kind of distribution zone now. Okay, and that is where it is resisting from that particular zone. It is coming down. Okay, so what has happened now? Yesterday trade, what was happening is I was watching this level. Okay, this was a level. This was a low somewhere. Okay, which was earlier formed. Okay, and this is the same similar kind of setup. And what was happening is day before yesterday, if you look at this candle, I don't know how many are able to see this candle. Okay, here, if you would have seen these two candles were actually confirming me this is sell on rise, and I had, I think, mentioned on some of the people also that it's a sell on rise. Okay, at this particular juncture there were some positions which were built up, kind of telling you that there might be a bounce back from here, and that is where I think I had mentioned, and my view went wrong. Fine. So what has happened at this particular point, something suddenly changed, and I just changed my position. I closed my trade at the loss, and I closed my position below this level. Okay, because SL was very small. And yesterday the trade which was there, which was a clear short, and with the SL of 1997 or 2000. Okay, and my SL which I had kept was 2005. Okay, and from there it has just fallen. Okay, now what is the next level? Next support which would be somewhere around at this level, at 1860 to 1827. Okay, and we have seen some options getting basically the put writers moving out. Okay, so good afternoon. So, Soham, yes. How do we Nifty Bank Nifty analysis on daily trading? Yes, that also we will take it. Okay. So this one was just a view of Reliance, which we had discussed. Okay, these are So basically, whenever I am sharing these charts, okay, look at only from the support and resistance. Okay, the point which I am trying to always mention is I'm trying to help you out to learn things. Okay, I would not try and make it easy for you guys, because then you will stop learning. Okay, our point is everybody has to be self-reliant, and we have to start looking at our own things so that we learn together, we grow together. Okay, so tomorrow it should not be, see, we can take a confirmation, we can take a help from people and try to understand what trade we can take, or what would be the right analysis, because we can always take the view from the people and then we can take those things. But what is happening is today everybody is trying to by giving the calls or whatever it is, or whatever trade suggestions, it really makes no sense, because then you people are not learning, then things are not working out for you. Till the time the person is giving you calls, everything is okay. After that, suddenly his views goes wrong, you are in trouble. Okay, so even if you are taking somebody's view also, my suggestion is always analyze yourself, so that at least you know where are the confirmations, where are the things which we can take it forward from there. okay, whether it is the right trade or not. Those also certain things. Now these kind of setups, if you see, if I would have told you, okay, buy here because this is a hammer kind of formation, and you know this is getting the support and all those things. So these are the things which we will if we learn, then probably I would have taken, because say risk reward here, I don't have any support here. Okay, at below this candle, I don't have any support. Can I see any support here? There is nothing actually. Okay, so taking a trade here and keeping indefinite or this particular SL was not making any sense. Okay, so and some of the people I told that somebody is actually trying on trying to sell this counter on the rise. So these are the things which are happening, and which if we even identify these on the charts, we will be able to make lots of sense in our trading. Okay, the losses would be there. Now something which I have been trying to work on for last few days, those are like testing the setups. Okay, and so what is happening is, whatever analysis we do or whatever things we check, okay, we put moving averages, we put VWAP, we put RSI, we put MACD and all those things, and we have our own setup, right? So once the setup is ready, what we are doing is basically we put that setup and we try to follow that particular thing. Now what happens basically is, some of the setups works on certain stocks, okay, and some of the setups will not work on certain stocks. But what is happening is, we only realize by looking at the charts and all those things, we only realize how much we are actually we are getting to see the profits or losses over the period of time. Okay, now what problem is happening is, certain stocks, if it is not working at all, okay, on that particular setup, then it is a loss, and we will get to know only after say limit some particular time. Okay, and some of the places, what will happen is, certain places it might give you, that setup might give you a loss in first 4 or 5 trades, but the fifth trade it will take care of everything. Okay, so the problem what is happening is, at this particular point, if we don't know what is the profit and loss, we are actually risking our complete money. Okay, so there are certain ways which we can actually the back test and find out which are the stocks, which are things which we need to work on. Okay, so that is important before we put up any setup or anything. We need to back test, we need to find out what is what is the probability, whether on that particular stock that setup is working or not. Because there are lots of probably my YouTube channel only you will get some setups which are there, but some of the stocks it may not work 100%. Okay, so some setups which will work only on a bank nifty, some setups only will work on nifty. So that's what we need to we do all these things. Okay, so guys, I don't think so we need to follow up on this the profits and losses and all other things. Okay, guys, my profits or your losses or my losses does not really make sense. Okay, what we need to do is, we have to learn together. Whether we are able to learn together is the, I am not trying to teach anybody, I am not trying to do anything which is for the people. Okay, we are all learning together. There would be certain setups, certain things which you might have, and which we ideally have to try and learn together, and which will help all of us to make money, to make things together. Okay, and let's not fight over these particular things. Okay, so profits will happen, losses will happen. Okay, everybody might see those things, and there are enough and more telegram channels to show you that there are profits which are there, how many profits we are getting and all those things, and 2 lakh, 5 lakh, 10 lakh and all those things. I'm not here for that game. My point is not to make these things. Okay, point is how do we kind of work together, how do we kind of work on the things, and we will work out those things. Okay, so some people were asking about the Nifty. Let's change the topic, guys. Don't keep on talking about this. What profit I'm making, what profit you are making, we are anyways not going to do anything with that, right? So my profit is my profit, your profit is your profit. We are not getting into any kind of thing. Okay, so guys, something which we need to kind of learn here, and Nifty setup is something which you guys were asking for, and I think I'm just repeating the YouTube videos which I had shared earlier. Okay, maybe you guys would have missed out, some of you. What I'm trying to tell you here is what is my high and low of that particular day. Okay, so Nifty analysis, how you're doing is something which was asked, and that is what I'm trying to kind of give you the answer on. Okay, now look at these things. Okay, now high and low of this candle, okay, would be my point of trade on a next day. Okay, now what is happening here, you just see this this candle whichever was formed on the Thursday. Okay, we had this trade. Okay, and look at the low. Okay, so at the low, which is not been broken. Okay, and that is where your trade would have come, the long trade would have come here. Okay, if it would have broken that particular thing, there's now the small tail which is there at this particular place, and which we can always say we will always have this small things which will work out on these trades. Okay, so now in a day, okay, on that particular day, I have mapped this day's high and day's low. Okay, now where my trade comes, my trade, I go back to the 5-minute chart. Okay, I have been keep on sharing this charts, guys, on a daily thing, and look at this, what has happened on the 20th, which is yesterday. Market has opened in between this range, right? This was our full day and night, day and end of the day, which has started market at this particular level and then ended up in this level. Okay, now look at this trade. Now market is falling. Okay, I would have taken the trade at this particular point, right? If at all it is breaking and giving me a confirmation. Okay, now what I generally try to do, okay, which may not be the right method, or which may not be a exact thing, but my confirmation always comes when any candle breaks that particular support or resistance. Okay, number one, I need a confirmation from the next candle which is confirming me the break of the low or this particular candle. Okay, when the low breaks, okay, that is where we will we will try to take the trade. Okay, I'm not going to take the trade exactly at this point because I'm sitting on the system, so I can see those particular things, but certain people who are not able to identify this particular thing will definitely have that kind of trap. But look at the low which is being supported, the candle which is trying to break, the next candle which is confirming the that whatever break has happened, this is a false breakout, and it is again moving back on the direction. Now in this case, what would have been my target? Okay, and I frankly speaking, I had taken the trade which I had discussed with some of the members who had a live session with me yesterday. And so what is my target? Now here the stop loss would be the low of this candle if at all I am taking a long trade, because this candle is confirming me. And guys, there is nothing, no 100% surety that anything and everything will work. Okay, my point is, here at this particular point I would have taken the trade, the low would have broken and I would have been in loss. Okay, that is fine. But here what is happening is, if at all we would have taken the trade, okay, and we would have taken this particular point, and my target would be the high of this particular first 5 minutes the candle. Okay, which is my, or the next target could be for me this the high of the yesterday's candle. Now in this case what happens is, here my risk reward would be favorable to me, right? and that is where the point comes of profits and losses. Okay, where we make losses, everybody would be making. Nobody is 100% making profits and all those things. Nobody is 100% making all the trades is 100% and all those things. Nobody is like a god. Okay, so here also we could have made losses in case if this would have broken. Okay, but here if you look at it, 744 to 730. Okay, this was a range which would have been our stop loss, and my target would be, even if I take 1:2 also, still it would have given me somewhere around this particular level. Okay, and I generally I think I had booked it at this particular point, so don't worry about these things. But what is happening at this level is it has gone up to this particular point. Okay, and if you look at this price action thing also, it would have probably the 12,900 would have been a resistance. Okay, and we were also discussing about the option chain which will confirm this particular trade, right? So we need another confirmation to take this trade, right? So at this particular joint, what has happened is, if at all we would have traded, okay, we would have got decent money at this particular 1:2. Probably it is much more 1:10 kind of ratio here. Okay, because our SL is hardly some 20 points, right? And our target is like 30-40 points at least. So which is giving us 1:2 minimum, and after that it has kind of 883, 884 it has gone. We could have trailed it. Probably the trailing stop loss would have hit somewhere here and we would have exited, or maybe end of the day we would have exited. Okay, which is still decent target what we get. But what happens is, most of the people, now here also if you see, now you're I'm just taking another example. Okay, now this particular place, your day high and day low. Okay, now this is the candle which was formed, okay, on 17th of November. Now what is happening here? Here at this particular point, I had few SLs which are hit. Okay, here. So basically, whatever the logic which I was telling, I had two SLs which hit, and then I had stopped trading in this particular thing. And then I had taken a trade here, which was I had booked it somewhere around from 30-40 points. So the point was, look at this resistance, which you can see for yourself, that this high of yesterday, these are very basic things, guys. So you will be able to kind of understand it a little better, because you don't need any indicators at this point, right? And what is happening is, you can add probably RSI at this particular juncture, just to get a confirmation on whether you have another additional information, which is whether it is a high or low, or whatever it is, whether oversold, overbought kind of situation. Okay, and this particular point also, if you would have seen this support resistance, now even in this case also, when the market has kind of gone up, it has, look at where the resistance has taken, almost at the same point, and then again it has fallen. Okay, look at the next day, okay, which we yesterday we were discussing. Look at the opening which is happened. Okay, so I'm just marking these levels and I'm just keeping it. Okay, so where what is happening at this particular juncture, this is kind of formed this level, it is trying to take the support. Once it is broken this level, I have a trade till what, at this point, right? So this is where we will try and take advantage of these lines. Okay, so we will just mark it for few days, and then we see, and then look at the magic. So yesterday, whatever low which was there, look at, this was some or other way resistance somewhere. Okay, so this is where our support and resistances which will keep on coming, and this is where the trades will happen. Okay, now you don't try to take trades in between like this, where your risk reward will be difficult to take. Okay, so this is what is the is the basics of price action trading, and it can give you a decent money. That should be fine. Okay. Now 12,800 PE, Prabhu, if you remember, this was a situation which I had given the PE, right? So look at, this is what I was just explaining, that where my trade would have taken into picture, and my target would have been this. Okay, so this is where Prabhu, that the trade has taken place, and probably we booked it at somewhere around 135 or something, 134. I don't exactly remember, but this is where we can use our setups. Yes. Yes, Nikki. So it is perfectly fine. Yeah, uh, we follow one setup only. I don't follow any other setups. Okay. So the point is basically just to kind of make sure we are getting into the right setup and right thing. Okay, certain things works for somebody, certain things works for somebody. So I don't think so. We have a right setup for everybody here. We have to work as per our own things, and then we can take it. Okay. So I'm just reading your other messages. Yes, Prabhu. It's breaking the support line. That is where we had taken the trade. Okay, and that is what is important to kind of analyze. Now, at this particular point, probably the SL would have hit. I was just waiting for the confirmation, because at this point there was no clear thing, because the first time it has taken the support, second time also the candle is closed around this level, and so I was not taking any trade. However, I had given the trade here at this particular point, and then we had taken the trade here. Probably we have booked it somewhere around in between. I guess I had told three targets were given, and I think that is where we have to work on. Okay. Yes, Nikki, we can work on 15 minutes, 30 minutes. It is of your convenience. You can look at it always. What is working best for you, you can always work. There is no hard and fast rule that we can actually work on one level only, or 5 minute chart or 10 minute chart. Okay, so certain people, for me the 5 minute chart and 1 day chart works better. For some of you it might be 15 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours chart, 4 hours chart, depending on your requirements. So you can take the trade as per your setup. Risk reward differs on the higher time frames, lower time frames. Okay, lower time frames will give you maybe perfect entries at certain points, because whatever we try to do on the 1 day chart, if you see the price action on the 5 minutes, probably would confirm you that there was a support which was forming at this level, and then we can take the trade. Okay, so risk reward depends on your own analysis, own things which you want to try and do it. But I think the basics of basic setup, which you can follow, rather than following anybody or any calls or any other thing. Probably the best thing is just to follow these basics of it. You don't need any indicators or anything. RSI is just added for your reference if you want something to be added. uh, but if you see, it is very very clear on certain things. Probably RSI wouldn't have given you this cell here somewhere around this point, but look at this. This is clearly telling you that okay, there is a resistance which is getting formed, and it has not been able to break. So probably we had this this zone which was some and we don't need to kind of hurry up taking a trade. Okay, so if you look at this zone which was like probably look at this. Okay, this zone was kind of getting formed here, and once it has broken that particular zone, then only we have got an entry to short. Okay, so probably our short, so somebody might tell you, okay, I had shorted from here and then I got I exited at this particular point, which is absolutely wrong. Okay, because this would have confirmed me, yes, there is there is a trade which is there. I don't think so we have to make a trade of everything, because now look at this, we can just extend it and we can see where the resistance is. Now see, and this is where this is how simple these things are. If you are trying to make it very complicated, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, by 1 hour, all that confusions are not required. We just have a simple thing here. This resistance worked again. Okay, 900 becomes a resistance. This zone becomes a complete resistance. This is where probably our trade would be. At this point I might go short, considering the setups here. Anyways, I wouldn't have got much of money here, but anything which is breaking out with this zone probably, and this is another one thing which we have is this is a high, right? The day high for this particular day. So whenever it is breaking out this particular zone, then we would have a long trade. Okay, and the SL would be below this particular thing. So the SL would be much higher. We can decide the SL basis on the price action which is happening in the live market. Okay, guys. Any other questions? If you have, you can just type in, so that because I think I read all the messages, whatever important. Yeah, Gantt chart also works. Everything works. Only thing is how much you follow with a discipline. That's what is important for us. So, the option chain is something which you need to kind of analyze, and we have multiple things like now, option chain which you'll have to keep on following constantly. You cannot have the things which are working out just like that. Okay, so equity derivatives, we have these things, and which we can check it out on a option chain, and which we will keep those things. Like here, if you see 2 lakh 30,000 contracts we are getting, so this call writers actually moved out at this particular point, right? So this is what we try to find out. Now this number, okay, the change in OI, okay, so this is what is important for us, which we need to keep on analyzing. Okay, now here if you see multiple times, okay, what has happened, and when the market was coming around this particular level, what was happening is this put writers around the 750 level, the put writers were not moving out. Okay, and that is where we were seeing on the chart. So you have a confirmation with the chart as well, where we have taken this particular trade, and then we found out there was a support, and when the put writers were not moving out, this gives you a confidence that okay, that there might be a reverse trade. Okay, and look at this particular thing. So 900, the call writers have moved out, right? And look at this. Okay, now there could be a chance. Okay, it is not necessary that there would be a the entries could be with the buyers as well. Okay, but generally what happens is the Nifty and Bank Nifty, whatever I have seen, it always works out to be the writers who play the game, right? So that is where we need to keep on watching things. And the another analysis which you can do with this particular thing is when the OI is increasing, whether your price is increasing. Okay, I think you have seen the other video which I had uploaded basically for how to interpret the OI build-up. Okay, now here if you see the OI has come down and the net change is positive, which means this is the short covering, right? And now 800 you see there is a increase in OI as well as increase in price, which means the long built up which is happening on this particular strike, or 850 as well. Okay, and here it is the short covering is happened. So this is what we need to keep on watching, analyzing on the every minute, so that we can get a help from this option chain to figure it out and also confirm our chart setups whether these things are working. Okay, so this is what it's, how do you find out the option chain and other things, and how do you find out call writers are moving. Any other question, guys? So just go back to the charts. Friends, this is what I was trying to explain you, that the charts which we were talking about, uh, the day charts which I share generally on the channel, and people had some questions like, how do I analyze, how do I kind of read those charts, how do I do this certain things. So basically whatever I'm trying to explain you is as per the price action, whatever levels are, there are supports and resistances which are being built up. Okay, and these support and resistances, so basically what you do is you take the trade basis on your the breakout of this particular levels. So you can have the alerts or anything which is which is in place for you, and you can find out whether these levels are breaking. Okay, so once those levels are broken, because I'm giving you some important levels on a daily, as well as some of the places I'm giving you 5-minute chart as well on the Nifty and Bank Nifty. Okay, so little price action analysis on those charts, and you can mark those levels on your chart, so that, because what happens is generally when I'm putting those charts on the channel, those levels may not be seen properly. So just at that particular level, if you mark it on your charts, it will kind of help you to understand when this particular level is broken, and at 5 minutes uh, uh, you know at the 5-minute charts or other things, how this price action is playing. Okay, we just saw this particular thing on this chart, which we just marked highs and lows and other things, and we found out something else. Okay, so on the 5-minute chart we got some trades out of it. Okay, so my point is, don't trade on anything and everything as soon as the market opens 9:15, just trade. That doesn't work. Okay, so that will not give you any profits any day. Okay, the only profits, or the consistent profit which I am talking about, which will only come when you have certain discipline, certain rules, and you only follow those particular rules, and that strategy also has to support that particular stock, because certain stocks, they don't move like in any, as per the any setup or a price action or anything. Price action generally works on most of them, but indicators generally with the RSIs and other things, it really doesn't work. So that is where we need to kind of work on those things. But this is the setup. Okay, where we go long, either go long at this point, or we can we can see the breakout at this point and then we go long. Okay, and then you go back to the 5 minutes. If you get some trade at these levels, we take the trade. Okay, we get some level some trades at this level, we can take the trade. Okay, and the breakout below this particular zone, we can see there would be a fall, further fall which will happen. And for the just for the analysis, we have multiple levels, okay, where there are gaps which needs to be filled. Okay, now here one gap is there. Okay, here one gap is there. So all these levels, this gap has to be filled somewhere. Okay, the Nifty has to come back and fill those gaps, and then probably continue the trade. Now lots of people would say that the earlier gaps which were there, which were, and it's not necessary, guys, that the gaps has to be filled immediately. Okay, I'm not saying the market is going to fall immediately or whatever it is. But this gaps could be filled maybe after years. Okay, just like we had some gaps in earlier things which filled up only after some 7 8 years. Okay, so there is no necessity that it has to come immediately, but yes, this zone looks like a consolidation zone. Any side breakout will give us a confirmation that which side the market is going to go. Okay, the valuations are on a higher side, everything is on a higher side, so we have to look out for the things. Corona cases are increasing, so all these things which we have to consider before we take a long trades and other things. Certain stocks probably, I would suggest to book the profits. If you look at Reliance, probably people have started booking profits at the 2200 level, and today it has almost reached 1900. Okay, though the any good news comes, Reliance doesn't have. So that's another thing which is there. So Reliance, somebody is selling from the top, and maybe booking the profits at that level, and definitely that is right, because a certain level, if you see, it had gone up to 850, 900, 950 level, and from there it is almost given 100% returns on the capital whatever they have invested. So definitely there is a point to book the profits at certain stocks. Even the long term investments works like that, right? So we cannot have one investment which is there for months together. So that's what we try to work out. Any other things, guys, you want me to cover? Because we have another max to max 5 minutes. So OI is a bigger topic. I will try and add more videos on the OI front. OI may not be understood just like that, because just like a 5 minutes I cannot explain you, the OI. But yes, we will work together. The people who are willing to kind of put that effort, I'll definitely work with them to explain them. And just like there would be some trawlers here and there, so who wants to kind of make fun of everything. But guys, my only point is, learn together. Maybe we can help each other and grow to a level. Not necessary, see, whatever you earn or I earn, it doesn't matter to each other. Okay, our lives will continue with whichever ways we want to, and we will only work on our own things, how we need to get the profits, how we need to earn money, how do we want to improvise our things. And there are definitely a lot more psychological reasons which comes when we are trading, because certain times we book the profits too early, sometimes we carry our losses too long. Okay, so those things, if you control it, probably things will work out much better. And I have seen many of the people, some of my friends, who has kind of they change the fortune. It's basically the person who has lost a huge amount of money, and then uh, and this happens with everybody. Okay, and then following the discipline, and coming to that level, and then making that things happen. And certain places I've seen people with arrogance, and the kind of things which they want to try and do certain things, and they ended up into different losses altogether, because they suddenly stop following the rules. The rules is what they gave the money. And certain places, people play like a gamble. My suggestion is, don't play like a gamble, because it's a hard earned money. We don't want to lose out that money just like that. Okay, taking multiple lots, and without any analysis, just buy and sell and all those things. And see, sometimes it might give you a lot of money, and other time it will take out everything. So my suggestion is, just be careful, guys. Any other things you wish me to kind of discuss? Probably we will discuss. Some of the people who had kind of discussions or some questions, probably I'll form a group. I will discuss with them separately, because people who are willing to learn, I would be happy to help them. And I hope you have seen the Reliance chart which I shared on the channel. People who are not there. Okay. Um, let me know what all things you want to cover up so that. Yes, you have to watch the OI levels to make money. The open interest is something which will help you. Um, yes. So see, it is always a question. Okay, how to hold the profits for a long run and all those things. So one simple thing I would say. See, it's a emotional thing. You can read books. You can have lots of other things which are there. Controlling emotions, the only way we can control our emotions or have little bit of control on our feeling is meditation. Okay, one is a meditation. It looks weird, right? But that even that 10-15 minutes meditation will help you to kind of control your emotions. And second thing is controlling the emotions while trading and all these things. One is once you do that little thing, the other thing which will come is you have to always try and trail your stop losses. Okay, so certain places what happens is we get emotional getting 5 rupees, 10 rupees, or whatever nifty trades and whatever it is, 5 points, 10 point profit, and actually end of the day we see that has already run to some 100 points from the position which we have closed. Okay, but the point is if you have those technical levels, okay, now whatever levels you are putting in, okay, on the nifty, you just according to that, I will upload another video on the option, how do we kind of calculate the options and other things which will kind of help you to kind of put those things in the in practice when you're trading in the nifty, bank nifty and other trades. Okay, you can calculate your premiums and other things, but what will happen is when you're trying to do those particular things, if you start trailing your stop losses, okay, some of the cases what will happen is it might hit your stop, trailing stop loss and you might be exited. But what is going to happen in some of the cases when you are trading, okay, when you're trailing the stop loss, you might be able to get at least 70 to 80% of that rally. Some cases, very rare cases, it is 100%, nobody gets 100%, but at least 70 to 80% of the rally you can always try to get. Okay, some cases what will happen is you might be at a 10 points profit or 20 points profit, and it might come down to 5 points profit or 10 points profit. Okay, so those cases you might lose out, but when you win big, right? And the second thing is your targets has to be kind of when you're doing the analysis, like every other book which you read, okay, the only thing which they will tell you is, any time when you're trading, your your risk and your reward has to be there. Important thing is risk. What is your risk? What is the risk you can take for that particular trade? That has to be there whenever we are taking the any trades. So we should not take any trades where we do not know what is the risk. And risk reward is something which will always play an important role, right? So when we are trying to put that particular thing, we always know, we are already prepared that okay, this much of loss I can take it, this much of loss is is something which is there. And when we hit that particular either you keep it in the system or you don't keep it in the system, whatever it might be, but your trade has to close. If we are not holding, if we are not following that particular risk fact, then we will never be successful. Because, and always remember one thing, it is not necessary that every day we have to be in a green or whatever it is. Okay, but if you are whatever 5 days in a month also, if you are green and if you are making big money on those days, even though other 15 days whatever losses you have made, that would be minimal because your risk reward has to be in place. So these are the two things which you always have to remember. If you know, okay, this is my risk and reward, probably what happens is I have seen people who are keeping in our group as well as the other places where they have their exact targets as well as the stop losses, and they follow that particular thing rigorously, and that is where they are successful in a daily life. So one is a try to trail the stop loss. Second thing is meditation, which is there. Always have risk reward in your in your mind whenever you're taking the trade, so that it will help you to know what would be. And I don't think so we should regret in certain places when we have booked our profits. Like yesterday I had booked profit on the call and on the 12,750 call, and because we had a live session, so I had to just book and keep quiet because I don't want to unnecessary divert my knowledge, this thing, attention on something else. And what happened is, and that option has gone up to like 60 points further. So I can't regret. Whatever I have done is my call end of the day. So we have to always put that thing in place, right? So it's okay. Whenever we book. But only thing is, if we maximize the profits, it's always good that it will take care of our losses sometimes. Okay, the losses will also happen, but losses has to be minimal. Profits has to be massive. That is what we need to try and work out. Oh, difficult question. Bank Nifty. Okay, so most of you know who know me very well for last maybe 1 year, 1.5 years. Probably know that I used to only trade in Bank Nifty earlier, and my all the suggestions used to be always on a Bank Nifty. Okay, but recently, frankly speaking, I have been avoiding Bank Nifty. Okay, uh, because certain times it does not really work as per our setups. Sometimes it gives wild movements, right? So now people would say, come and say that there is this SL hunting or whatever it is. uh, but whatever I'm seeing people, or whatever I trade in recent times, I would only say one thing: Bank Nifty, as soon as you get into the profit, book it. I don't care, because I don't know. I have seen in last, I think, what, 10 days or 15 days, there are sudden moves like 200, 300 points fall and then 300 points jump, right? So you can always keep the stop losses. There are always stop losses which are there, and if you keep now, when we are trading like this, okay. Now generally I have not told you this particular fact, but what I generally do is, if this is my support, okay. And now I will try to open the Bank Nifty thing. I'll show you what things I keep on doing. Now, and Bank Nifty guys, one more thing, important update for you guys. I just kind of found out, because my subscription was ended for TradingView, and I just got this intimation saying that it is available. The subscription is available for $1. Okay, so I have just kind of, so the important thing which was there, what I found out was useful for Bank Nifty players especially. Okay, so this chart, 15-second chart. Okay, and frankly speaking, I was just doing this analysis to find out what is the kind of thing it works, and it really works. So it is like, it is going into the minute details of where the the tops and bottoms which are there, right? So at this particular point, and if you remember one comment I made, that it is not in a positive, Bank Nifty is still not in a positive and all these things, and I was looking at, I actually had shorted some puts, which I had to cover up in the losses, because I expected the Bank Nifty to stay around this level, but it gave up that gains in the last few minutes. Okay, but what is happening is, Bank Nifty, if you're trading, you can trade on even the smallest possible time frames. You can always have the larger time frames, which is there, which is like 15 minutes and all those things. 15 minutes is a big time frame for Bank Nifty, which is because the kind of movement it gives. Okay, if we are, but definitely, if you look at it, our analysis, the way we are trying to do the analysis, probably if you see this chart, okay. Now what is your high and low? Okay, now if you would have kept our whatever, I think I have shared some charts already, guys. So look at the highs and lows of the day. Okay, now where the reversals are happening, if you keep on doing this particular part, probably you will know where is the support, where is the resistance. Okay, and those same levels I will try to uh, put in the in my daily charts. Okay, and what I'm trying to do is, if you look at this particular level, So Bank Nifty had actually broken. It has given this particular dip, okay, this week. And now we go back to the 5-minute chart and trying to find out what would have been my stop loss and targets. Okay, now we can go back to 1-minute chart also, because the kind of Bank Nifty which is playing. Okay, but look at Bank Nifty. Now there is a difference between Nifty and Bank Nifty. I always say that, you know, whenever you're in profit and Bank Nifty, just exit. But look at this thing, because it is opened at this level. Okay, some or other way it has taken the resistance at this point. Okay, so first 15 minutes, 20 minutes, you just analyze what is happening. Then it is not breaking at this particular point, it has stopped. So okay, so I will hold on this level. So 600 looks like to be a resistance, which has to be supported with the option chain as well. Okay, some or other way. And then what happens is, at this point I will try to you know, hold on this particular level. I will watch this level whether it is getting broken, and then this low of this thing, and then let's find out what is happening on the day. Okay, so whenever these trades which are happening, if you see, when it has broken, it has tested. Now this is another thing which I keep on talking about in my price action videos. If you would have seen, any support which is broken. Okay, now this one was like a multiple times. It is this was a low of a low or high of certain days. Okay, now this particular level, what has happened is, this zone is a critical zone. Okay, and if we go back to our some of our price action things, we will realize that this particular zone was a another zone. Okay, so this was a critical zone. So what has happened is, at this particular point, ideally it has broken the support, then it tested that support and it has come back. Okay, but what has happened is, maybe because of certain news, and that is where I said Bank Nifty is unpredictable. Okay, now look at this move. Now this is 659 to 908. Okay, so anybody is wisely trading, you know, should ideally avoid Bank Nifty. But if at all you want to trade, look at these levels. Okay, the supports and resistances. Ideally here I would have shorted. Okay, and my target, or maybe I would you know, I can short at this particular point if at all I want. But either you know, as per the price action, you can short at this particular level. My target would have been around this level. Okay, or my 1:2 ratio, or whatever it is. Okay, depending on your risk reward. In this case, what has happened is, this has gone up. Okay, and this has hit your SL, right? So once the SL is hit, now at this particular point, you know, always remember, once your SL is hit, you are out. If you are continuing with to trade, then there is a problem. Okay, probably it would have given you still an you know, point till this, and then it runs. Okay, so this is where we need to kind of always remember to have those particular things. But Bank Nifty always will play. Now look at this one candle. One candle is enough for you to, you know, enough to kill your, you know, weekly gains, right? So, and this is nowhere, it is just, it just comes, right? So you can always go back to 5 minutes or 1-minute chart or whatever it is, and you know, try to play with this Bank Nifty. But 1-minute chart actually working better, because it at least gives you that kind of you know, little you know, minute or micro view. But Bank Nifty is difficult, guys. And I agree to that, my own, because certain places when I'm very sure on certain things and certain setups, then probably I would play with Bank Nifty nowadays. But otherwise, I generally avoid. But if you are in profit, just book it. Okay, guys. Any other last questions? If you want, you can ask. Probably we'll just discuss. Otherwise, we will wind up. Hope the section has helped some or other way. Whatever way I can help you guys, I'm trying to you know, work out on that. This recording of this video will be available on the portal, on our YouTube channel, as well as I'll share this. Yes, Ramu. So, you know, how to find out the stock? What I will do is, I'll try to find you know, I'll try to pick up you know, 1 or 2 topics from you. I'll try to make a video on that. Okay. I had some things which I had uploaded earlier, some methods, but there are some other methods also which are there, which we will try to work on. What happens is basically the certain stocks which are running, okay, either ideally I try to find out much before uh, the thing, because of OI. One is the open interest. Okay, you can just, even if you just simply do Google and find out increase in open interest and increase in price, a simple keyword, okay, you'll get some sites which will tell you where is the movement happening, which are the stocks where the things where we are adding on to that the open interest, or where the open interest is coming down, or whatever it is, and those things which we can use it for our intraday, right? Second thing, yes, Shivraj. So the same thing which we can work out, and probably what I will do is, so there are multiple ways you can look at it. There is another website which is, I think I will share it with you here. The Fatafat Stock Screener. This is one part of it. You have another thing which is charting, which you can create your own scanners. Okay, so these are the things which will keep on, and the best thing is easiest thing which is always there is money control, which will give you some of the stocks which are in action. Okay, so the app, basically app gives you a much more better thing, but I'll just show you thing, and I'll just show you this Google ka thing also, so that you know increase in open interest and increase in price. Okay, so first site which is coming is money control. Okay, you have multiple other things which are keep on coming. Okay, now you have money control, which will give you this information. um, Look at the percentage change. Okay, look at 25% change on the on the Tata Steel, right? And this information is live. Okay, you don't have to subscribe. I just don't want to give you, there are certain paid sites which are available and which gives you decent. It is not that it is not giving any results, but when certain things which are free, why don't we use it, right? So look at these things which are there. You just double click on that, you will get where the open interest is suddenly increase. Okay, increase in OI, in increase in percentage. The percentage is something which I look at it. Okay, and look at the percentage Grasim. Okay, and the 2% increase in the price, right? And then we have Tata Steel, the JSW Steel, Jindal Steel, Oro Pharma, and look at Oro Pharma has not moved much. Okay, Oro Pharma, as like I said, some of the stocks doesn't move that thing. Look at Coforge, 1%. Okay, so that is where you get some trades. That is where, and this one is completely free of cost. Okay, you don't need to do anything on this. You have other things which are like on the app. Basically you will have lots of information which is there. The FNO section, if you go, you will find out what all things which are there. uh, Important thing is top gainers. We can find out what top gainers are, where the volumes are high. Okay, we can always find out only by volume shockers. Okay, now this is something which is very very important. Okay, this is what I generally use to find out my own trades. Okay, in this you can find out what is volume shocker stocks, and here I'm not trading on anything just like this all these small stocks, but I generally try to figure it out my Nifty 50 stocks or other things which I can yeah, it is live most of the time. Yeah, and see, generally when we say live and other things also, see, generally there would be lag, because certain information flows from the the stock exchange to the these whatever data service providers, there would be little lag from 30 seconds to 5 minutes depending on the requirement. But generally people say if you are going for in the paid version or premium version or whatever that is called, your data is little faster, maybe few seconds you can recover. So that will help you to kind of take the data. But these are the stocks, guys. See, what we need in the intraday, what we need is the fastest moving stock, right? There has to be some movement, either upside, downside, whatever it is. And when the movement will happen, when you have some open interest on those particular stocks, if there is no interest in that stock, there is no volume, you would not be able to see any stocks which are moving into that kind of direction. So whenever there is an increase in open interest, always, and this data like increase in open interest, you can always refresh it every 15 minutes, 20 minutes, or whatever it is. Okay. Now the only problem is you have to refresh it here. Okay, it is not something which is coming as an alert to you or whatever it is. Alert can come in your charting, but charting doesn't have OI and other things. It will only give you the chartical, the breakouts and other things. You can get some volumes as well on the charting, but not the OI front. The OI front is only this. You can create some alerts on your this thing as well. Your trading view. Okay, you have so this is another easiest way. If at all you have trading view subscription, you will get, or even if in a free case also you get it, but alerts is something which is, I think, a paid version you get it. So these are the stocks which is kind of some momentum which is happening. You have multiple things you can put it here. You can add multiple confirmations. You can filter basis on what is what is your setup. Maybe you are using MACD. What would be my value if at all that stock is coming to that particular value? Can I do this momentum? You have many features which are there. Okay, which are the stocks which are pre-market opening is high. Okay, so these are the kind of things which you can put it, and this one will keep on giving you alerts. Okay, so just this chart has to be there, and you get all these alerts on your phone or whatever ways you want. And this is like this, so this would be I feel that TradingView would have that paid thing also. The premium version is what would give you that information, but these are all information. See, I have to use all these things because I have to do this full time. So there is no other thing. But if at all you are using other things, there are other apps like Nifty Trader, which is there, which can give you some information. Quantsap is there. Multiple apps are there which can help you to kind of get those. But something is free. I would suggest if you are not investing too much on this thing, if at all you are getting something free, and if your analysis is right, probably you can take that. So these are multiple methods to find out the stocks. I will try and upload another video with the complete detailing on where to find, how to find, and all these things, so that it can help you guys to figure it out. Okay. So Nifty, Bank Nifty, I feel you would have had a better clarity now how we analyze, how we do certain things, and what breakouts happens and how it happens. Okay. Bank Nifty, I would suggest always go with the smaller time frame, because a bigger time frame, you will not get a chance, or your risk reward would be much more high. Okay, guys, I think I have covered most of the questions. Try to put whatever it is. Anything else? Probably we will just discuss it. I think we have already covered 1 hour of session. Okay. Any last question if you want to ask, I'll take it. Otherwise, we will wind up the session. And thanks for joining. Thanks for spending that time. It's a very important time you have. Okay guys, so have a nice time, have a nice weekend. Next week probably we'll have some action on Nifty Bank Nifty. We'll trade together. We will try to work out certain things together. I think all the questions are done, and keep the group active. We will keep on discussing so that it can help all of us. Thanks guys.